I kill here with the freeform journal entry. Freeform journal entry. No, I'm here with the journal entry for today. I'm going to keep it short and sweet for today. So I'm only going to read exactly what I said. I'm not even going to give you too much of a backstory because the journal entry will kind of say it for itself. Now, I will say, if I'm tripping over my words, it's because I can't read them. And that's because I write sloppy in here. Anything that I have to give to somebody else, I'm not going to do so. But for me though, yeah, I'm gonna give myself the trouble. Plus, you know when it's like if you're somebody that journals, you probably know how it is. You are getting stuff out and maybe your brain is going like, you know. So it's kind of difficult to be neat and also get out every single thing that you're trying to get out. Now, maybe that means I'm not actually a neat handwriter. No, that can't be true. We're not talking about that. See, there we go. Let's just read the entry. Everyone has the moment, the already experienced event that likes to take the fact that you exist to justify a revisit. When certain things must be, I can't completely say I react or behave in a different way than I did once before, but I can say I'm more real about what I think and what I feel. I won't let me not be real about both. However, I realized quite a bit lately that my realness can disrupt others. Yet I find I simultaneously it says came to this conclusion. And I'm guessing that I meant that I simultaneously do two things at once. So my realness can disrupt others, but others' realness or their truth can disrupt me too. To listen, to hear, to have someone else's truth shoved down my throat and to react just a pinch and be cinched for it. Essentially, I'm saying I listen to others, I hear other people, I hear their truth, and then if that's a truth that disrupts mine, right? Or there is this moment where both of our truths exist at the exact same time because we experience things. We as humans experience things in different ways that other people do because people have different roots, people have different lives. And even if you lived a similar life, right? Let's say you grew up in a house with people and you were raised similarly. Yeah, let's go with that. You still react differently. Or that you still have parts that are just you. That's how you reacted to it. That's how you became who you are in a way. Not to say that's not who you'll be forever, but you get what I'm saying. Like, anyways, yes, like having people's truth shoved down my throat. But when I speak anything, when I speak even a bit, even a pinch, I get cinched for it. And what I meant by that, and I was just trying to rhyme, but what I mean by that is, okay, that pinch pinches other people, even if it's just a little bit. So I'm basically saying I'll speak however much, like, this is what I listen to, right? This is who I'm listening to, and this is about how much I say. That pinch of what I'm saying disrupts somebody else. You have their truth, right? And then you have mine. My little ounce, my 2 cents can create a pinch, and that's what I realize, or I trigger people that are very close to me. So, more so family than friends. But continue. Told to tighten, told to withhold thoughts and many other things in such central moments. Yes, it's been all of those that tell me you have a sting laced with many things, a sting to your truth. The bruisings of its pinch forever serve as a reminder. People keep boundaries with you, uphold them well, but it's the authority that allows this to be done for long and done well. I've grown tired of listening and not being heard, yet it's meaningless to this life. It's meaningless because this life is a blur. That's probably what I meant. To enjoy even when you get hurt. Why focus on the hurt? I used to ask when my numb mask was plastered on the armor of my body, blood upon the lacings for tightness. I'm not hurt, but I may feel it. That shall pass. So, although I'm hurt, it's only for a moment, which is why it shall pass. In the meantime, though, we've got feelings to settle, forgiveness of self to give. Feelings aren't something you rid. Why rid the messenger? Remover of the veil. Do you know how many stones or stories? Stones, oh my freaking. But hey, emotions can throw stones though. Because emotions can fuel the way in which you're speaking to someone or speaking to yourself. Let's continue. Remover of the veil. I'm saying that emotions are a remover of the veil. Do you know how many stories emotions tell? There's something that I need to give myself. Time to set the weights down. Remembrance can threaten a blow. No, remembrance can thicken a blow, especially if it's from the same person. So what I mean by this is emotions and memories, they're very tight. They're tight because you may not necessarily remember everything that happened in a situation, but your emotions will, the way that you felt when something happened will remain. Remembrance will thicken the blow of things. I mean that as something can happen to remind you of something, and that can serve as the triggering of a certain emotion. Remembrance, the body's remembrance to that emotion, tied to whatever the event is, usually something similar, usually the root of the thing, will thicken the blow, as in the reaction or the repeating of the feeling. Hopefully that makes sense. These days we say what we want about things, or we speak of truths thought to be invisible to the eyes of those surrounding you. So I'm talking to myself. I know that what you've heard so far is probably not the most organized, but that's not the point. And that's why I'm explaining some of the things that I said, because I'm writing things that I'm comfortable with sharing on here. Anything that I'm not comfortable with sharing, I'm not going to share. Like, that's just common sense. But yeah, I'm sharing what I want to share. And I'm explaining it to hopefully make it make more sense. So I'll continue. But yeah, that's not, I didn't finish my thought. Brain is going fast. Mouth is not going fast enough. Yeah, I'm talking in third person or first person, maybe even second person. I'm not going to go back to really determine whether or not I'm talking in second person, but yes, I'm talking in a lot of different persons because that's just how my brain flips. There's different switches that flip. And that's just how I talk to myself sometimes. So just saying, just clarifying that for you. If you didn't understand, this is all me. Okay? You walk this line of recognizing and judgment. What's the intention behind you walking this line, stepping on the Stepping on the stones of judgment, yes, just to add yourself. You seek the balance of judgments as if you've realized this tight line you glide upon. You'll naturally add your behaviors to the fire. It's easy that way. Keeps you fair, keeps recognition wide. In the moments of disappointment, irritations, etc., you are reminded of yourself. A troubling instance this used to be. It now keeps you accountable because you can't hold the light upon someone else and seek out the shadows that emerge without waving to the mirror and seeking out your own. The things about myself that I condone, whether that be knowingly or unknowingly, I can be everything under the sun, even in my reach to be the sun, to have a light. Essentially here, this is me thinking about just things that have happened over the course of the past few days. And I realized that I can easily enter this space of judgment or just recognizing, just seeing the in-between of things, and I'm walking upon a tightrope because I feel like that's a tightrope. Recognizing a truth and judging for the truth. Now, I most likely will journal about to revisit what judgment is, just for the sake of doing so. So I myself understand when I'm in that state and when I'm not. However, yes, I still walk that fine line, especially when certain emotions arise, where everything that I'm saying may be a truth, but what am I saying it for? Am I saying this truth in order for the truth to be worked towards having a solution? Am I saying it because in this situation I can't control others, which is usually the situation? I can't control the behavior of other people, so I'm going to talk to myself about the behavior of other people and remind myself, as if I don't already know, the behavior, the pattern, etc. Because in a way that keeps me sane. Recognizing or just talking about that, but then talking about what could, or in my head should, even though I don't know why that's happening. Like, what's the actual purpose for this should to not be done in this life? What kind of lesson is supposed to emerge from this? And even now when I see these things, or I think about like what it is that I walk that fine line of recognizing truth for and just judging, because it's a very fine line. As I'm doing that, and I'm staring off into the distance because I'm in a flow right now of thought. But as I do that, I mean that I cannot, for years now, it's been difficult for me not to get into that state and not look myself in the mirror afterwards. Like, even if the situation ain't about me, because I am almost painfully aware of the fact that I likely do the same thing. We, as a collective, are the same. We are just different fonts of the same thing. So for the life of me, I'm not going to say it's a struggle. I would say it's a blessing to be able to do that. To think about, hey, and that's what keeps me clear-headed as I'm walking that fine line, because I'm telling you, it's a fine line. It keeps me level-headed because it reminds me that I am in this situation, or I play a role. Maybe this story is not where I play that role, but somewhere else it likely is. We're all dual. So, but yeah, it keeps me accountable. It keeps my humility in check. But also, in those moments because they're emotion filled. I can express my emotions without judging. I'm still in this process of feeling and letting myself be okay with the fact that I'm feeling. Especially when it's, well, no, I can't say especially when it's, I can and I just did, but I'm saying that I can't because even when it comes to more positive emotions, I still have to, I'm reaching a comfortable state of being light and feeling light and feeling positive emotions, because it's not just negative emotions that can be withheld. When you are somebody that knows how to suppress, trust and believe, suppressing a lot of different things that you didn't even realize you were suppressing. It comes up after you recognize, okay, you're suppressing more negative emotions. As you continue to live on, you may or may not see, and it's different for everybody, but I'm speaking for me because I saw that it was the more positive things that I was having trouble with experiencing or accepting was happening. Like, even now there's some things, and hey, we are all whips, work in progress. So yeah, that's my spiel for today. I'm liking these journal entries because they have a poetic edge to them. They're not completely poems. I will say that yesterday's kind of was a poem. But today's not as much. But it fits a little bit. But I like these. And when I go back to school, I will likely be incorporating these a little bit more because a slight break. Because it never really is going to go away because my journals are always going to have, my entries are always going to have a poetic edge to them. But that slight break from, what in the world? That slight break from, that slight, I'm doing my stuff, hold on. That slight break. That slight break from just full-on poetry is a slight need. But I've been doing a good job. Applause to me for that. But yeah, I'm gonna cut it down. Cut. I will catch y'all in the next one.